Hello there, Adam Bazalgette here from Scratch Golf Academy at the beautiful club at Mediterra. Today, can you get on that inside path? Can you get the club to come approach the ball properly and cure that slice? Okay, let's just very briefly say, what does it mean to have a club on an inside path? What it means, as the great Ben Hogan will treat ourselves to that, with the golfer is on the inside of the target line. This is considered the outside of the target line. So as we look at Ben Hogan here, the club is perpetually on the inside of it. It's going around his body, swings down well from the inside of the target line. Again, that's from this side of the target line. But it doesn't really swing to the outside. It swings to the back of the ball and again back around to the inside. Maybe swinging out here would be a good image for a hardcore slicer, but that's what swinging from the inside means. So momentarily, before we get to this hidden key, so to speak, why is it important that the club's more over here and not over here? Well, let's say at least a couple of things. Number one, when the club's here, the club's more behind you, it keeps it farther from the ball, so there's more whip coming in. When the club's coming over the top, that distance is shortened. You never get the same sort of speed. And along those lines, number two, when the club has a nice symmetrical, even circle around your body and isn't toppling, you can create a lot more centrifugal force and speed. Okay, let's see that hidden body move. So what is this hidden move? Let's look at Adam Scott for a minute. If we look at his spine angle as best as I can pick it out there, and we look at his turn in the backswing, it is very much, as it should be, perpendicular or around his spine. But if we look at his position, let's do just the shoulder plane there. Shortly after impact, it's definitely steeper. So why is the shoulder turn different coming through to going back? Let's look at two more examples. How about Scotty Scheffler? Again, he's turning around his spine, as you can see there, but if we go beyond impact, it's definitely steeper. This isn't something slicers typically do. One more example, then we'll talk about why. Bryson DeChambeau, he's standing quite a bit taller because it's a driver, and if anything, you'll see this more exaggerated with the driver, as you see there. The reason is, as we showed you, he's going around it, or they are going around their spine going back. But if we look at Fred Couples, let's say most of the way back, in the backswing, because it's just pure pivot, his hips are pretty much underneath him. But if you look at him in the forward swing, that's no longer the case. The head is roughly in the same spot, but the hips have shifted this way. And when the hips shift forward, it causes more of a side bending of the spine, an increase in angle that way, which in turn steepens the shoulder turn. If you like this video, keep watching and maybe share it with a friend. Happy to spread it around. So simple enough in theory, if I've pivoted on the correct angle, and we're assuming a few things here, but if the backswing is decent, as I come down, I get a good strong bump of my weight and hips. If my head's reasonably still, again, there's some side bend and you see the steepening of the shoulders. Here's a good way to feel that. Get your driver. You can do this at home, certainly as you're watching the video if you'd like. Put it with your lead hand opposite your lead shoulder and make a couple of right hand only swings for the right-handed golfer underneath that, and just get this motion where you can feel some drive of your hips. This is going to tend to keep your head pretty steady holding this club, and it keeps this left shoulder from spinning open. And just see what it would feel like to go through there, and you'll start to get the sense of that tilt. You can even take a club choke all the way down, probably not hit a ball, but you can start to make some little swings there, and you can see the look in my shoulders as I go through. It's pretty simple, really, if you're not hitting a shot in a tournament over a lake, that is. Why is it then that people have such a hard time, slicers so consistently have a difficult time not overworking their body? Well, it's their inability, their lack of skill, if you like, in releasing the club properly. Let's tackle that one. So what is this missing ingredient that makes it difficult for slicers to do this? It's the inability with less shoulder motion to get the arms to the golf ball, to get them where they need to go. Now, picture this for a second. If I had a fly swatter, the wall's there, certainly I use my body, but it isn't just hitting it with your body. Once you've made your move, it has to translate into a hit. A little bit like that. So if you were hitting something, say with the heel of your hand, you would have to at some point straighten your arm and apply some pressure, not just use your body. So what I would recommend you do, put a ball on a low tee. See, the instinct to hit the ball is so strong with golfers, they're going to find the ball somehow, but if you haven't developed that skill, you just become accustomed to using your shoulders too much. It's very difficult to stop it. So put a ball on a tee. Picture, if you will, for just a second, skipping a rock. One more image. If I'm skipping a rock, certainly I bump and use my core, but I don't skip a rock with my body. You have to have a little bit of release to make that happen. That's what you need in the golf club. It allows you to use your upper body less and to still get the club to the ball. So here's the feeling. Ball on a tee, going to get back there. Again, now my shoulder versus the slicer is farther back and farther down than what they would be used to, so you've got to be able to pop that thing long and get to the ball. Now, one final little point here. We're not talking about throwing the wrists, not out there. There should be a dynamic element to the thing. And the straightening of this trail arm is in this direction, same as hitting something or skipping a rock. All right, little swing, get back here. I feel the body motion and the ability to pop the club and get it past my body. One more pitfall remains. We'll have to look from here again. So the pitfall is if you've been a slicer, you don't probably have a very good ability to square the face. That's one of the reasons you come across it. You leave the face open. Now, grip could be an issue. We're not going to get into that here, but suffice it to say you need a left-hand grip or a lead hand that allows you to square it. But you have to have a lot more closing of the face if you're going to hit the ball well. I was having a chat with my old instructor buddy, Andrew Rice, Golf Digest Top 50. You may know who he is. He's always insightful, and he said that in his opinion, the strongest instinct any golfer has, other than at least just making contact with the ball, is to keep it more or less in front of them. And if you've had an open face, you better swing to the left or it's going over there. So here's what we want to do. Picture the rock skipping analogy again. As I skip this, I can spin the ball so it had a little bit of that, like that sort of feeling. You could see that roll to the left. I bet you could do it first try like that. You need to feel some of that with your hands through the ball. So it's up to you exactly how you feel it. Is it trail hand, lead hand, etc.? But I would suggest get it on a small tee, short iron. This is an 8-iron. Again, pump this thing in here so I'm feeling that. And as I create the snap, really feel like the toe or the club face aims here right after contact. Just a little follow through. Overdo it. Get that thing to snap. Get it kicking left. It is critical that you're not fighting an open face when you're swinging more from the inside. So play with these ideas. They're really not that difficult. I know you can do it because I teach people all the time and people can learn to do this. If you can skip a rock or hit the back of the chair, you can do this. You just have to have a sense of what you're doing and rehearse it a bit and keep the scale small. Hope this helps you.